of the bus.
How is it she remembers this? She's not been here for 2 years.
Part of the bus.
How is it she remembers this? She's not been here for 2 years.
And we're here. We're in that room.
Well, good evening. I'm Cherie.
And I'm Chris.
And our names are reversed again.
We always sit on different sides of the seat, it seems. Okay, there. But yes, I think you could
I can be Chris. You can be Cherie tonight. No, that'll be weird. I'll be Cherie tonight.
Yes. Okay. I hope we're coming through loud and clear and the video is good. This is, we are at a very, very populated RV park that has a lot of Wi-Fi signal interference. So doing a live has me a little bit on edge, but fingers crossed.
3 different connections bonded through our router, 2 cellular, 1 using the park's Wi-Fi to do this. Hopefully it stays stable tonight.
Stays stable. So yes, we got a lot of tech going together to make this live, but you never know when there's so much interference. So fingers crossed. So what's up?
Wow.
Where are we? Where are we?
We are currently in Benson, Arizona at our co-op lot at the SKP Saguaro Co-op Park, which is one of the...
in Benson, Arizona.
Yeah, I think we said the same words like 3 times now. So hopefully people know where we are. If you might recall, if you've been following along for a while, we are lifetime leaseholders here at this co-op park. It is part of the SKP system. It's not owned by the SKPs. It is owned by the leaseholders in this park, established in the late 80s. We have a little casita, a little house thing on our RV lot. The bus now stays here in the winters. Our boat is out in Sanford, and we use the van to get between them. So yes, we still have the fleet of 3, plus the lot here. And we returned here to our lease. Oh, Halloween.
Halloween. We got here 30th. We got here the day before Halloween. After, I guess the last time we did a live was in St. Louis. We were heading out to Colorado and down to here. And it was a great trip. But suddenly it was back to like a way too fast of a pace. And like, so many places we just had to kind of blow through because we kind of had to get here. We had a lot of stuff we needed to get caught up on. And we were nervous because the bus had been sitting here in storage since before the pandemic. And we didn't know if it was going to start. So spoiler alert, you saw in the little video intro, started right up.
No suspense there. But yeah, we had a great trip from St. Louis to here. We went via Colorado. Visited with some friends. We got to see Mark and Julie of RV Love, your old college roommate who lives in Salida, and one of our teammates at the Mobile Internet Resource Center, Andy McNabb. If you follow our channel there, you might have seen him in some of our videos there. finally got to meet him in person after working together for over 4 years now.
And he's real. He's actually a human being, and great. It was great to get some work done together and collaborate, and then it was also just great to be in Colorado. It's been so long since we were in Colorado, and
figured it'd been
so
over
friggin' beautiful.
10 years since the last time we crossed through Colorado, so it's great. Way too short of a trip. I think we only got to spend about a week in total there. Just not enough time, but winter was encroaching. In fact, we ended up leaving probably a day or two earlier than we would have liked from visiting with people there, so that
because a blizzard was going through the mountains.
Yes, we were going to get over the mountain pass and not be kind of trapped on either side. We had to get scooting along, so we did, and then we found a great route we did the $1 Million Highway, and then we came down through New Mexico. We went to the Bisty Badlands. You might have seen some of that footage in our intro.
It actually snowed on us there, and it was beautiful, really out of the way remote. We did manage to get connected. We actually did a live for the Mobile Internet Resource Center from the middle of the Badlands by deploying all of our possible tech.
And went to Cosmic Campground, which is one of the only dark sky designated areas 40 miles from any artificial light, so that was pretty amazing to watch the stars there. And then we got to Benson, and before we babble on much more about what's up, I think we should reverse the camera and let them see the sunset that's going on. So we have a view of the Dragoon Mountains off of our back porch, and every evening we get to watch the colors come over the mountain. So the sun this is looking to the east. The sun is actually setting behind us, but just the colors on the mountain off of our view it's why we like this lot so much. This RV park is terraced, so it goes up several rows behind us, and every RV, we're on the shelf side of the terracing, so we're kind of looking over our neighbors' RVs, so we get a better open view, and like everyone in the park gets that advantage, just the way this park is laid out, which is really, really cool. Chris giving a little bit of the view of the back porch, and you can see Zephyr over there. It's a great little casita that we ended up with. This one was actually, the prior leaseholder was a friend of ours, and the people that we came to visit here originally before we got on the hot list to become leaseholders ourselves. And this is the lot that we fell in love with, this view, having happy hours off of it. And it's been great while we've been here, because we've been able to enjoy happy hours with several of our friends who are in the park as well, which is just a great way to hang out and catch up with a beautiful view.
Just spin around the casita. You can tell what we're pointing at.
Yeah, so this couch we got here 2 years ago, just a Walmart cheapie. But we got here this time. We wanted to make it more comfortable, more nesting. So we ordered in from Amazon this little corner apartment-sized couch, which has been super comfy for snuggling up, and Kiki has taken it over mostly during the day. Because we also installed across the room a 65-inch television. So it is great in the evenings to come in here and just veg.
Hey. Glimpse of the bus outside too. So
yes, we are. All right, Chris put the tripod back down and join me here on the couch.
Framed.
You're gonna close the door, please,
before less noise out here.
Less noise. It's gonna get chilly.
So yeah, we love the view. We fell in love here. It doesn't come through camera nearly as well as just seeing the mountains and seeing the colors change.
So you'll have to come visit us. Well, visit the park. Anyway, so this is, if you are an SKP's member and you are coming through Arizona, this park, you can rent a lot in it for a night, a week, or a month. And if your first visit as an SKP's member, you can actually get a lot here for just $65 for a week. Check it out. Yeah. Full hookups. Mm-hmm. Check it out. There's also boondocking spots for just $5 a night if you just want to check out the area. There's a lot to do right here in this area. I'm sounding like a tourist.
You are.
Like I'm pushing it. It's great. Come visit.
And we're talking to you, Linda, because
she's coming
she's
next.
Watching. Cherie's mom will be here next week.
Tombstone is just like 20 minutes down the road. Bisbee is not too farther from there. We've got Karchner Caverns. We're like an hour southeast of Tucson. So there's a lot to do. It's a great little base camp. And Benson itself has a grocery store, several restaurants.
And one really amazing
really good restaurant, Mikasa. You have to go to Mikasa if you're in the area. Best Mexican food that we have experienced in a long time. So it's a great place. We love this. We're intending for this to be our long-term winter home base. Eventually, as we continue to move the boat up the coast, and yes, we will continue the Great Loop at some time.
Yeah,
we will winterize slowly, but we will eventually, because we want to take it slow, we'll eventually be in cold places where we'll need to winterize, and then we'll return here.
And yeah, this is a great place to be in the winter because it doesn't really get below freezing much at all, and the nights are cold and crisp and chill, great for sleeping, and the days are, you usually start the day with a jacket, and by lunchtime you're short sleeves, and it's just, the weather's amazing, and hardly ever clouds in the sky. It's just beautiful. Yes. Great hiking right out the back door. Yes, great running, trail running here. It's been having a good time.
Yes, and we've set up the Casita here to be comfortable as a desk and office during the day, and a hangout space in the evening. And we also left room here for it to be kind of our own personal gyms. We've been doing a lot of Apple Fitness lately, so we got our yoga mats and weights, and we do HIIT in here. We get the bikes for getting out and being active, so it's been mostly good. Yeah. And we got in. We did a little bit of work on the Casita. We covered the seats on the bus.
So we did the Casita work of just the nesting, and then one of the lingering projects on the bus from 2 years ago, because we were gone for a lot longer than we intended, because some pandemic thing has happened, still is happening. But the seats in our bus that we'd replaced like 5 years ago.
2014.
Yeah, that long ago. We replaced the captain's chairs with nice new ones, but they were done with halo leather, which is like a fake leather that was supposed to be good, but it turned out, this happened across the entire RV industry, all that leather after about 3 years just started to flake off. And the people we brought the seats from, the company Halo Leather, went out of business when this all started to happen. And we bought the seats from Brad & Hall, and they said, well, we'll send you new fabric, we'll make you something new with fabric, as that's the equivalent cost. But you've got to figure out how to get it installed yourself if you don't want to have to come back to us in Elkhart. So we're like, labor, that's a big project, but we went and researched, learned how to do RV upholstery, and we tackled it ourselves. And that was actually a very satisfying project. It was a lot of labor, but now the front of our bus, instead of looking like flaking, like literally you just touch the chair and little things of flakes would fly off of it, it now looks great again. So
nice little upgrade for the bus. I was curious about the bus in storage after nearly 2 years. We left it in the lot here.
Not plugged in sun. Batteries
did great. Solar did great. Everything kept functioning just fine.
And we knew that because the one thing we did is we had mobile internet on it, and we could track the batteries and see inside of it and all that. So we knew the electrical system was fine, but what else was happening to the bus?
So yeah, I mean, one of the concerns anytime you store, especially in the field, is what little critters might get into your RV, into the engine bay, into other things. So we're worried about, would they eat any of our wiring? Would they eat our air lines? So we wouldn't be able to air up. Our brakes are air powered. So we were concerned. That after almost 2 years of storage here, was Zephyr even going to be drivable out of the storage lot?
Yes. And particularly when we opened the engine bay for the first time and looked inside, and there is just piles of seeds all over the engine and little torn up bits of insulation and
nesting material that they had. So yeah,
somebody was living inside of our engine, but they didn't seem to touch anything critical.
That we know of yet. Zephyr, we did a full safety inspection, and Zephyr
topped up the fluids and boom. Oh my
fired
God.
Right up. Beautiful she aired sound. Up, held air, brake checks checked out, and Chris couldn't resist taking her first
little joyride. We didn't go out on the we haven't taken Zephyr for a long trip. We probably will not leave the park this year because we're just here for a short period of time. We'll talk about that in a second. But we did joyride around the park and around the storage area, just making sure everything was fully functional. And then we got it over here in our lot and actually continued to clean it. No signs of any critters inside, but one of the little back mechanical bays was completely full of giant nesting material.
And stockpile of seeds.
So we ruined somebody's winter plan, I guess.
Yep.
But cleaned it all out, and everything seems fine.
Yeah, so far, Zephyr, some of the finish onto the wood definitely all needs to be sanded down and re-lacquered and everything, recovered.
That was the case already.
It was already the case, but there was definitely more flaking on that. But that was really the only thing.
Just good cleaning needed.
Yeah, good cleaning to get her ready again. We did have people here in the park who have been here since when we haven't been over the last 2 years, who have checked in on Zephyr for us. And yeah, very thankful for that. And yeah, just it was great to be able to pull Zephyr right back into our lot, get set up, spread out. We did just over 3 months total in the van, which was completely comfortable and wonderful, but we were definitely ready to spread out.
And it feels always, every time we get back in Zephyr, it just feels so good to be home. That we just love the space inside the van, and then I'm inside the bus, and then when you combine the bus with this big living room here to just chill and hang out in the evenings and or tackle projects, like it was so great to be able to have this room to be the upholstery room for a couple of days while we did that. Is just nice. So we're loving this combo here, and we've already taken the van out for a little overnight trip and spent, been out doing some van adventures using this as a base camp, which is part of our plans.
Yep. Yeah. So we don't know that we'll take Zephyr on any long trips.
This year, yeah,
probably not this year.
Yeah.
We're intending. The boat is still in Sanford, Florida. Thank you, Sabina, for keeping an eye on Miss Wynot for us, and we have left her back in July, and I'm honestly I'm missing Sanford. I'm missing Sabina. Yeah. I'm missing my mom. I'm missing our Florida community out there. So, we're eyeing staying here probably through the end of December, and then start heading back. And we'll be back in Florida sometime in January, I think.
Yep.
And still enjoy the warmth in Florida.
Yes. Yeah. So and we've got family and other stuff to visit on the way back. So yeah, that's the plan. We will be in Arizona through New Year's Eve, and then who knows? And on our way back.
Yeah. So we have been here a month now, and it has gone by so quickly. There's been, of course, the projects that we've talked about, just general nesting and relaxing and spreading out after the van trip to get here, and we've had constant flow of friends coming through, and so we're getting some social time, which has been very great. It's great to get back to some of that RVing social experience on one couple at a time. It's about our speed. But the big project for us has been something that has been building for the last year or so, and that's the recognition that we're getting older.
We are.
Well, you are older. He just turned 49 the other day. And earlier this year, we set the intention that by the time he turns 50, we want a life that looks more like we're working part-time and for fun and not full-time or more than full-time.
Because the Mobile Internet Resource Center, which is we've been doing for 7 years now, has, we intended it to be a side project, and it became a way more than full-time job for both of us. So
it has been. Running the Mobile Internet Resource Center is a passion. It is definitely merges our personal backgrounds, our love of helping our community, and of course our technical backgrounds and traveling and knowing
and geeking out all the time.
And geeking out. So it's been a lot of fun, but
it's also never ending.
It's never ending. That is, oh my gosh, it seems there's never, the changes never stop. The things that we have to document and explain, and to an ever-widening audience who have technical understandings, from not knowing the difference between cellular and Wi-Fi to people, super geeks like us, who we have to go really in depth and cover it all in a way that isn't hopefully overwhelming for anybody.
But yeah, the big thing is that, okay, it's like, well, the Mobile Internet Resource Center we created is, now we've got a team of what, 5?
We have 5 right now on our team.
All part-time, and we want to be part-time like them. So the way to get there, we've realized, is we have to let go of managing and micromanaging everything, and B, grow the team even further and bring in more skills and more people and more stuff. So if you're over at the Mobile Internet Resource Center, we're going to be starting to expand. We're going to kind of build this out so that there's more people involved, and we are, by the time I turn 50, less than a year now, going to hopefully not need to be involved every single day. There will be enough people that we can just be the big experts who do our things.
Big industry analysis, come in and do our webinars and things that we enjoy, do some videos on occasion, but no longer having to have our lives interrupted by what Verizon has announced today or PepLink is doing. Or so many times we have set out to have a travel day or a day of hiking and exploring, or a day with family and friends, and having a big company that we track announce something unexpected that we have to drop everything and cover and document and do in depth.
And get a video out and get to this and that. So yeah, in particular, if you guys are watching, if you're a YouTube person and you're watching this, the number one thing we're going to be looking for is a great YouTube person, another face for the Mobile Internet Resource Center channel. We'll be doing a call out for that soon. But hey, if it's pressing your buttons and you know us or know of us, yeah, drop us a line because we're looking for a video producer, talent / editor / all that stuff to do videos.
Yeah, little news stories and clips and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an exciting year ahead for us because we'll be training up new staff, and we've been working for the last year on documenting a lot of our processes so that we could hand this stuff over a lot easier and have it not be tied to any particular person.
Yes.
And hopefully in a year's time we're successful with the path we've laid out and we're able to step back and enjoy some of our travels and come back to enjoying and have it be a passion project again.
Yes, and
that's the goal.
And be able to be disconnected for sometimes on occasion if we ever actually can pull the needle out of our veins.
So
that's what's up on the work front.
It's been a very emotional few months to get to this place because trying to find this path, and we kind of created our own handcuffs to what we've created. And we have a annual membership that people join to support the Mobile Internet Resource Center and the content that we create. And for that, they get to go further. But that annual recurring income is essential to keep it going because we don't do sponsorships, we don't do affiliate sales, we don't sell anything.
Right.
It's all that community funding that makes it all possible. But we're also committing every time we accept a new member or a renewal, we're committing a year of service.
Resources, yeah.
So it's a long-term path that you have to think ahead of how you're going to transition things. And, if it comes to a point where we're unable to
That's why we need to have more resources to handle it all.
Yes. So, it's like we have a year of having to continue things on regardless if there's funding or not. So it's a tricky balance, especially with something that we love so much that we've created. But there have been days where it's been so stressful. We've been on the edge of burnout many times in the last year, especially as so many people are hitting the road for remote work and need mobile internet and don't yet understand the challenges of it. It's been a trying year. It has for everybody in their own ways, and having to tackle all the changes that have come about. But the burnout has been.
Yeah, we've been fighting burnout. It's been a challenge, and I think we've got a good path forward. It feels good. Our current team is on board. We're all signed up to try and expand the year ahead, and we've got a lot of interesting shifts and plans and things to make the resource center even more valuable and less us. So
it's a high order to do, but we're committed to doing it right because we made a commitment to our community, we made a commitment to ourselves, and we don't want to see what we built just
peter away.
And it's the sort of thing that if it's not kept up to date in 6 months from now, it's
peters away by itself.
It becomes outdated. That's how quickly this industry is changing with 5G and Starlink, and how all of these are going to play together to create different solutions for people on the road to keep connected the way they need to keep connected. So
that people can figure out how to combine 3 different connections to do a live broadcast from the middle of someplace. This is what we help people do.
I think we hit everything that was on our mental checklist of the things we wanted to go through.
So now we're just going to hang out and take questions from you guys. Thingy? So I got it's Q&A time. Let's chat. And that means we open the wine.
Yes, we're going to pour us a glass of wine. Feel free to join us with your own tasty beverage. If you have questions about RV life, boat life, nomad life, cats, co-ops, we're welcome those. We just have one request. Mobile internet is our day job.
Yes. So you can ask us about the personal side of transitioning our jobs,
business,
but not about tech questions.
We're not taking mobile internet questions. If you want those, go over to the Mobile Internet Resource Center. We have a dedicated YouTube channel for that with a bunch of free content, a whole bunch of free guides. And if it is something that is an important part of your lifestyle, come join us and help make it all possible, including this transition ahead for us so it sustains. So we're going to pour the wine. You guys queue up questions.
Woohoo.
Oh, and tonight we are this is from our Naked Wine collection. We did a video on how we get our wine. We are glad to be back in a place where we can get our wine shipments. So this is Cat 2. We're one of our favorite wineries that we found through that. And of course, not just because we love our cat and we are in the Casita right now, but we are having Cat 2 Cabernet tonight.
Okay. Let's turn off looks like the first question / comment I'll bring up here is from WCRV for Adventure. They is from South Florida. Oh no, that's the wrong one.
That's not a question.
Where was it? No, this is nice comment though here. RV on the move. we're excited. They're on the hot list here at Benson. They're number 103 and are going to visit this spring. 103, you're within striking distance. We were 120 something.
We were 131 when we got ours, but yeah, if you're at 103, you can pretty much snag it a lot whenever you want.
Because there's a lot. One of the things we like about Benson is you can put your name down even if you don't, because you can just slowly work your way down. We've got friends who are all the way down to like in the 40s now, just because that way when they're ready, they could just call and they're at the top of the list. You don't have to. If you come to the top of the list, you could just keep waiting. It's all active on your side.
There are people who've been on the list for 10 years or more. Yeah. So yeah, you just get on the hot list. It's $500 to get on the hot list.
Fully refundable,
or it applies towards your leaseholder lot. And I think that a blank lot here is currently starting around $13,000, and that's a lifetime lease. And then there's annual maintenance fees and assessments that you contribute towards the upkeep and maintenance of the place.
So cheers. Here's to being back in Benson.
Cheers to you guys.
Yes. Okay. Let's see who else is here. More people said they love staying here. I recommend. This is a cool place. Come check it out. A lot of people saying they had good comments about this area and this co-op. So it's definitely
someone's in the co-op right now.
Oh, hey! Oh, nice. Hi, Sata Jet. Drop us a line, or maybe we actually know you. I just don't recognize your name here. Boom. We got Byron asking, how are the batteries holding up in Zephyr?
So before we put Zephyr in storage and before we went out into boondocking 2 years ago, gosh, it seems so, in 2019, at the end of 2019, we replaced the original batteries that we had done in 2011, which were the GBS cells. We put in 4 Battleborn 100 amp hour cells.
Yeah, so actually we shrunk this battery bank slightly, but went with something. Our original cells were the bleeding edge of doing lithium in an RV, and they had served their life for 8 years and were ready. We got a whole video about how they died in storage when the bus was in a prior storage, but this time around, we were parked in the sun, so the solar controller was able to keep the batteries cycled. They were on the whole time. It stayed nicely charged, except and seemed. First thing we did when we got in the bus is I powered up all the systems, turned on the air conditioner, running off the batteries, and everything seems to work. I have not done a capacity test to drain them, see if there's any capacity changes. But the nice thing about the electrical system is it just worked. No issues. Just turned it on, and it was there for us, which is what I want. Johnny's saying we won't be visiting Michigan on the way back to Florida. I think winter's happening. We kind of we were thinking Michigan.
Yes, we were originally. The original plan was going to go up the Blue Ridge Parkway, go explore around New England, cross into Canada, get out of Canada, come in through Michigan, explore Michigan, go through the UP, and then get to St. Louis. Apparently, we had really was really ambitious.
Yeah, I mean, we still did. It was actually a great trip. We covered a lot of states. We saw a lot of new things. It was a really, really awesome time. But we're looking at it, like, okay, yeah, we can do Michigan for a day. That's not going to be worth it. So yeah, we just kind of ran out of season. But yeah, we definitely want to get more Michigan time in the future. We've been there before and love it.
We spent 2 summers traveling around there in the past, and it is gorgeous. We love it. And if we're gonna go up again, I want.
Well, we're gonna get there by boat eventually. Yeah.
What, in a decade?
Maybe. It's on the Great Loop. You can't avoid Michigan because you gotta go through. Yeah, Seymour, I think this is a business question. Do you have a niche client market? And our client market is
RVers and boaters who need internet. Who need internet connectivity, whether it's for entertainment purposes, working remotely, homeschooling the kids, gaming, or just surfing and doing general travel. So our Mobile Internet Resource Center, we are focused on helping consumers, personal use, not business to business sort of stuff.
Yes. And another Bruce and Linda up in Michigan said they had 4 inches of snow. So yeah, we would have been in Michigan, I guess, in October.
It would have been September
if we would have swung in, but it would have just been way too quick. So
yes, and Bruce and Linda were definitely on our list of people to go visit.
Let's see. Okay, now we're actually getting to the point where he said questions.
Okay.
There's some really nice comments here. Thank you, guys.
So there's laughter on the water, join midstream time.
Oh, here's the
Well, there's one
oh,
above
sorry.
it.
Oh, okay, let's do this one. We'll jump back to that one.
Okay.
So how much are the annual fees at the park here?
So they vary based upon what the actual maintenance is. But while we have had our lease for the last 3 years, they've averaged between $1,200 and $1,400 a year. But because we leave Zephyr in the storage lot and put our lot in the rental pool, we get a portion of the rental income for each month that we're in the rental pool that goes towards those fees. So we personally haven't been paying that much because we've been contributing towards the income side of the park instead while we're gone. But yeah, they are about $1,300, $1,400 a year. And then right now the park has an assessment every year where every leaseholder is paying $400 a year that's going into
roads
that one's going into a general pot of money used for future maintenance, like roads and upgrading things in the future. So it's so that there's not like surprise big stuff that has to be funded.
And then Laughter on the Water, they clarify the question: Are we streaming from a room in a timeshare? So this is what's called a casita on your lots here, and I think that's about 2/3 of the leaseholder lots have a casita of some
yeah. So they can be a maximum of 288 square feet. Ours has basically, we're in our living room, and then we have a little side room that's right now just a storage area, but will one day convert to be a bathroom and maybe a little mini kitchen area.
Yeah, and the rules are, this basically, because this is an RV park, you have to primarily live in your RV, and the casita is just kind of an extra space, so you can't make it a bedroom, and you can't do things to turn it into a house. But some people have done some really fancy casitas. Some people turn them into workshops. Some people have really small casitas that are just storage sheds. Ours is, I love ours, and ours in particular has just got this great picture window that looks out on the mountains. Oh, this is a boating question. Have RV will travel. What have you learned about boating since you first bought?
Pretty much everything. Well, we
started with not knowing anything. So
actually, Ask Captain Chris is on the View. So we started with them actually as our training captains. Went through their courses, and they helped us a lot get up to speed on the things we needed to know to transition from RVing to boating. Learning everything from docking, tying lines, watching the weather, anchoring out, navigating, and everything else. So I highly recommend Ask Captain Chris. They have a great website with some great resources, a great YouTube channel, and they do in-person classrooms, and I believe they are available for hire for consultations as well.
And there's just that's part of the fun for us was going to boating. Was we kind of not really learned it all, but RVing was no longer nearly as challenging, so we wanted to go to something much harder and trickier in all fashions, and that's
new
challenges was boating. And I think we did some videos like comparing.
We did. There are, if you because we've now had the boat almost 45.
Wow, time flies.
Almost 5 years now, so if you look back on the channel, we've done some of these live broadcasts comparing boating to RVing, and a lot of our ramp ups. If you looking to do the transition, I'd recommend going back in time on the channel on the blog. We've covered a lot of content on it, and Ask Captain Chris, they're awesome. Obviously they still hang out with us even all these years later.
Yes.
So.
And if you want some fun YouTube videos, go watch the Ask Captain Chris channel, because he just sits there and does these deadpan commentary about people docking their boats.
Or he will document you taking your generator out.
Yes, and his channel is riveting and sometimes hilarious. Not him, but the people he's filming. So yeah, it's kind of fun. We got Dan asking, what's the winter weather like here? Having been here one winter prior, the weather here is kind of nice. It's
been getting up in the mid 70s right now. The evenings have been getting down into the 40s, maybe upper 30s. As we move more into December and January from recollection of last year's, we'll start having more freezing nights in the 20s maybe, and the afternoons will get more, maybe up into the 50s and maybe early low 60s.
I think it's very rare to actually have a sustained below freezing, and sometimes you'll get a dusting of snow on the mountains in the distance, and I think occasionally there might be a flake or two here, but there's really not much moisture that comes down here, period. So
it's really, really pleasant and dry.
Takes a little bit of getting used to before your nose adapts.
Especially for us that live in high humidity areas aboard boats. Yeah, it takes us about 2 weeks to acclimate to the dry, to the point where we're no longer wanting to scratch everything, and you're employing lots of moisturizers.
Yeah. So Bruce pointed out that they tried to stay here and they actually could not because their bus was over 40,000 pounds. So there is apparently a weight limit.
There is a weight limit, and I think, if I remember right, it's something to do with something on the road coming in can't support it, if I recall.
And although some of these, I think that rig that came in today looked like it must have been.
There are two that came in today that I'm pretty sure were pushing that limit. So I don't know how seriously that's enforced, but yeah, you definitely don't want to crack, particularly if you back into somebody's lot and you don't want to crack their asphalt. That'd be really rude. So, and the Sada Jets are considering getting on the list, definitely. Let's see. Oh, we got the question. Will we be going to Bash this year? The Escapers annual Bash tickets are on sale. Hey, there we are. So yeah, we got our Escapers. So we helped found the Escapers back in 2015, very near and dear to our hearts. And we did attend Bash in 2020, just as the pandemic was becoming on the radar for everybody. Nice. And we are going to be sticking around in Arizona long enough to leave the option open. Of course, with Omicron just coming on the scene this last week, we are keeping an eye on how that might impact our comfort level going to a big event. But beyond that, we haven't been around more than 2 or 3, 4 people at a time in almost 2 years. That big of a crowd, I don't know if we're ready for it personally, but we'll see. We will see, and we've told a few people. We've actually checked in with the people who run the Escapers. It's like we might swing in. We might go to the Escapers New Year's Eve party and stuff like that too. We're leaving those options open, definitely. But we're not committing one way or the other. We're not committed to doing any presentations if we go. Yep. But you might see us around. You might not. It'll really determine how extroverted we're feeling and if in the state of the world and how our general workload and our travel plans getting back to Florida and the weather and all sorts of things, but definitely keeping it open and keep us informed. If any of you guys are going, let us know. We might be able to see if we did make it. Mike and Shauna asked if we visited Elgin, Arizona with wineries, breweries, and distilleries. Some nice harvest hosts. And I'm not even sure I've heard of Elgin. Have you? No, I got to look that up. I know there's a lot of wineries in this general southeastern Arizona area. We actually just yesterday went to the meeting room, a mead place that was. We met up with Sabrina and Kenny. Moving Forward Adventures are also in the area. Yeah, spent the day with them yesterday. And so we found a really great mead place. We got some takeout and sat outside. Had some great mead, some live music. So we're gonna be trying to adventure out and find some cool wineries. So good to know. How far from the co-op to Quartzsite? It's like 250 miles. Arizona's big. I think it's about a 4-hour drive. Maybe 5. Have we done it? Yeah, we did it in one trip when we went out last year, 2 years ago to New Year's Eve. But there's a lot of great camping and boondocking in between here in Quartzsite too. So other times we've done it, we've stayed out at like Saddle Mountain and stuff on our way. It's definitely in the day drive. It's a bit beyond our preferred daily driving, but if we're just doing it one shot, we can do it. On the way back, we actually stopped for several days at Saddle Mountain and did some boondocking in. We got a question from Pete. Have we ever considered sailing versus cruising? And they're both cruising. Yes. And we actually... God, if you go back enough in the blog, I don't know if we did videos on this, but we actually were at one point shopping for sailboats. We actually started shopping for sailboats back in 2009, 2008, somewhere around there. Because that was what we thought was going to be next for us back then, was shifting from our small RVs to sailing. And we actually ended up moving down to St. John, to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Lived in a treehouse in the Virgin Islands. Then hung out with the cruising community down there and learned more. And we came out with because we were still working full time, that trying to learn sailing and working full time and the sort of sailing we'd want to do in the Caribbean just wasn't compatible with needing to be online. The amount of time we needed to be online for work. So sailing is, we both have sailed, small boats and stuff. We both like sailing, and sailing is not a great way to do the Great Loop. So we decided to instead do the Great Loop so we could stay close to friends and family and easy connectivity in the U.S. and have a great adventure. And explore all the inland places. I'm really drawn to rivers and canals and going through Canada and all this stuff that's not so appropriate for a sailboat. And who knows, maybe after we
do the loop. Maybe we'll be called to do sailing, but it's not even on the radar. It's
yeah. So the motor yacht has been fabulous for us. A very comfortable way to travel. And yeah, we found when we're RVing, we love a water view. Not that we have one here, but and when we're boating, we love a land view. There's something about the intersection of water and land that strikes the balance for us. So we're really enjoying staying intracoastal rivers, lakes, and things like that. So going offshore, which would be more ideal for sailing, hasn't really spoken to us as much.
Yeah. And we are potentially, maybe who knows how soon in the future we'll probably take Wine Out over to the Bahamas at some point and do a little bit of close in islands and stuff. But we'll see what the future holds. We're not planning. We don't plan far ahead. We just steer by serendipity. Charlie Grace Adventures pointing out that they're also leery of big crowds, and we totally understand that. It's we're not, the pandemic's not over yet. We're talking about how the hospitals near here are basically at capacity with mostly unvaccinated COVID patients in the ICUs.
Now, BASH is requiring vaccination or a negative COVID test, so that helps my comfort level a lot more.
But this is not over yet.
It's not over yet, but beyond that, we're introverts and we don't like big crowds, and it's a different experience for us being recognizable of the way we can interact in a big crowd, because so many people want to come up and ask questions or talk, and we don't really get the social aspect of it because we don't have time to just hang and chill. So it's a different sort of experience for us. And so we have just to weigh, are we ready for that when we've really been enjoying being more isolated and having opportunities to meet up with close friends in smaller settings? It's been working for us.
Okay. We have a say hi to Kiki for us. We're gonna have to grab her in a moment. She'll be making an appearance. We'll go drag her on the camera. And freshwater is much easier on the boat. That's partly why we're letting our boat hang out in Sanford, Florida, because that is fresh. A lot of the intercoastal is not fresh. I mean, a lot of the route on the Great Loop is not fresh. But where we are right now on Sanford is way up a river and very fresh water, and it's looking good. And Keith is pointing out we're both looking amazing.
Oh, you are.
You are. We've been really focused on, both of us, focused on fitness this past year. I have to say, I kind of caught myself by surprise. Apparently, when I went running on my birthday, I go running every year, and my watch or Nike app told me that I set a personal best for 10K distance. So wasn't even planning that. And so I guess I am in pretty good shape right now. It just feels good. Elgin is about 40 miles southwest of Benson.
Okay, so the other way. Hi.
That's probably not the next town, like towards Patagonia and stuff. So actually not too far the direction we were heading yesterday.
There's lots to explore right in this area, which is great because we feel like we've barely scratched the surface, which is great because we planned this to be a long-term winter home base for us. So we look forward to many years of exploring around here.
Hey. Laughter in Water wants to know if we're streaming on multiple venues concurrently: Twitch, Facebook, Patreon. Nope, just YouTube. We keep it simple. We are streaming over 3 different connections, though. We're streaming across campground Wi-Fi, Verizon, and Calyx plan that's on the Sprint network. So we got 3 connections bonded to try and keep the connection reliable.
No, we do not do Patreon. We tried that
years ago,
and we just didn't feel right. Having exclusive content just for people who pay us monthly. We prefer our community to be more open than that, and we're not in this for money. This is just for fun.
Technomadia, we decided to split our mobile internet resource center. That's our work life, and we're keeping that very professional, and that's off over here. And Technomadia, we do it for fun. We don't want to feel like, oh, we have to do something interesting, we have to do a video, we have to put out something for Patreon. So we shut all that down, and we just do this for fun. We love meeting people. We love when we connect with people like all of this. And we know that some people get really inspired, and we love being able to help people and give people tips and inspiration.
We love our community. We love the thing that we have enjoyed most is the connections that we've been able to make on the road. Because when you encounter someone on the road, you might only get to see them for a few minutes, but having this experience, the shared experience, at least our side of the story, so we can focus on getting to know you, which is great.
We have met so many awesome people. I mean, we've been doing this. How long did our YouTube channel first pop up?
We started our YouTube channel back in 2009.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So and it's never been a huge thing, but we've met so many awesome people, and it's been fun, and we like to focus on the fun side.
So yeah, if you, we are finding that because during the pandemic when we were still in Sanford for most of the year, we didn't put out a lot of content, and YouTube is not really friendly towards that. They like constant content coming out from creators. So we have been hearing a lot of feedback that people have not been getting notifications when we have new videos. Apparently you need to hit some bell thing to on our, you can't just subscribe anymore. You have to also hit notifications that you want to be notified. But we have been putting out fairly regular content since like last spring. Actually, since about last spring, we started ramping up to 2 or 3 videos a month.
Yeah, but not regular. We're not playing the YouTube game of having a schedule, and we also opted out when YouTube wanted to put in mid-roll ads that interrupt videos. We had to jump through hoops to say, don't interfere with our videos. You can put an ad at the front or the end, that's fine, but no interrupting our videos. And so I think YouTube deprioritizes us even further because we don't play their games.
Yeah, we're not into this for that sort of stuff. So we kind of like it. There are a lot of great YouTubers out there this day covering both boating and RVing and doing really well with it, making it making an income off of it, which is great, and building their audiences. But you're also seeing them report they're getting burnout, having to meet their whatever, if it's weekly or every other week, of having a schedule and having to play all those games all the time to keep their income going. We made a decision a long time ago that
Technomatic be for fun.
It's for fun, and it's not income driven. So we're just going to post when we have open time. We're going to come live when we have open time and the energy to.
And we'll do produce videos if they're feeling fun for us, and if we're getting good feedback. The feedback is nice. We're not doing it for dollar signs. We're doing it for people saying, hey, we enjoyed that, or we like that, or
And we put out several travelogue videos from the van trip. I think we documented up until New England, and the views have been low and the feedback's been low. So it's been less inspiring to continue doing the travelogue style. So I'm not sure we'll continue with that.
But lives, on the other hand, we're just like earlier in the day, we're like, hey, let's do a live. We haven't done one in a while. Let's just get the geekery set up and just press go. And these are fun and easy. So we'll probably keep doing this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And let's see what else we got here. Hey, Forrest. Good to see you guys.
They had West on the 1st of December, and they have a lot in the co-op in Casa Grande, which is not too far from here.
Yes. Lee asks, what about your van did you think would be a hard adjustment but turned out to not be a big deal? We thought, and we've done some videos on this, we thought going into such a small thing, we thought the van would be great, but we'd have to interrupt it, do an Airbnb here and do more ways to kind of mix it up. But we found, just did 3 months, and it was so comfortable for long duration, as long as we're not stopping in one place. It's not great for being in one place for too long.
Right, but it's been, we did small travel. We started in a 16-foot travel trailer. Then we did 17-foot travel trailer for our first 4 years on the road. So we were used to super small. When we thought that phase of our travels was over, that we were now spoiled with larger vessels, having the bus and the boat. And we thought, well, the van's going to be fine. We're just going to use it to maybe spend a week getting across country between the two.
Yeah, but spending months felt great. And I think in particular, the layout of the Travato G just fits us so well because you don't have to transform bed to daytime mode. You've got a bed in the back, and you've got basically a huge tabletop / full desk area up front. So you've got 2 distinct areas and a big kitchen, and it's a lot of stuff in a small space. I think a lot of other vans wouldn't have worked nearly as well for us, but the G layout just fits us like a glove and is super comfortable.
Said I was very happy to get to the bus.
Yes, yes, we wouldn't want to stay. We wouldn't want to be full-time vanners, but we love the mix.
I don't think I could do it full time, but yeah, I definitely, it's proving to be a much larger part of our adventures than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I think this past year we're probably gonna end up spending like a third of our nights in the van, a third. Less than a third in the bus, and maybe actually even more than
so it's been really cool being still on the boat in Sanford and doing little side cruising trips on the boat, but then doing a lot of van trips from the boat just around. We got to all of the state parks in Florida, in Central Florida, with campgrounds.
That will be really interesting to see come the end of the year. I think we might actually have spent more nights in the van over the course of the past year than any of our other things, just because we've done so many van trips.
Possible.
Because we left the boat in July. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how the nights roll out, but we've definitely been getting a lot of. We love the diversity.
And we did do several 1 to 2 week trips in the van last spring. So
yep. Geeks on Tour. It is always awesome to see you guys pop up. It is great. What's this? What is Pete saying here? Wanted to thank you for the tip you provided us back in 2018. You sent out a message to those who subscribe to your Mobile Internet Resource Center regarding Verizon ended unlimited MiFi. Yeah, that's the sort of thing we do over there. Is we keep people up to date, send out alerts, and
that's the sort of stuff that also interrupts our life. I remember when we got that tip, and we pretty much
had to drop everything.
Had to drop everything for about 2 weeks to try to cover that story and get the message out. So we love that it helped so many people, but
now we need to make sure we have other people that can handle that for us when that happens again. And we have been ramping up the team, and we just need to take it to the next level. Exploring Life says the Bash will be their first Escapers and Escapee event. What should we expect? Go check out the video we did after the Bash 2 years ago. We were still buzzing from it. We had some great footage. It was. It was. I don't know.
Don't expect this.
It's not a normal RV rally.
So when we brought the idea of the escapers to the escapees and the idea of the convergence, it was supposed to be more spread out, casual days where you could work and then hang out with your people in the evenings. The Bash is not that at all. It is a nonstop party for 10 days or however long it is. It is nonstop learning. It's nonstop events. It's very, very all consuming. Take time for yourself if you need it. Just keep in mind, everyone is taking time out. No one can do it all, not even JP, the convergence director.
Yeah, we actually had a conversation with some people that they were feeling intimidated because they were like, they were at the Bash and it was nonstop partying. I was like, yeah, there's nonstop partying going on, but not everybody is at every single party. And some people are coming in just getting a little FaceTime and hang out for half an hour, and then they're going back. And we talked to them and like, yeah, I had to crash last night. I went to bed at 8 o'clock. But not everybody's partying till 3 in the morning every single night. You don't have to keep up.
It will seem like it, though. There will be times when you take a night out or an afternoon out that the party continues going on, and it's going to seem like everybody else is partying nonstop. No one is.
Yes, you gotta catch your breath, but it is a great community. There's great stuff going on. Definitely so much fun.
So we're going on an hour, so we should probably get wrapping this up.
So we've got a few more questions here. Traveling the Blue Ridge Parkway. We did a whole bunch of videos on that, and they're asking if traveling in December is too late for the season. Parts of the road close, so they close it when the weather gets bad. So they'll close it at various points in time. So call the visitor center
or check their website. Actually, usually has the road closures on it. Yeah. But yeah, you're in off season at this point. It is mountainous terrain. So the ideal time to do it is summer, spring, and fall.
The fall colors are apparently the best possible time to go. But yeah, so you might still, depending on just how the weather ramps up, it may or may not work. And it might just be parts of it are open. So call ahead, but it could be great. So we got somebody saying they liked our travel videos. There's another couple people saying liked our travel videos. So for the trip to New York City and everything. So yeah, we love it. We appreciate that. Thank you guys.
When we put out the video and put the time into those videos, and we only get maybe 5 or 6 comments, it's definitely not inspiring to do the next one. Yep. So keep that in mind for any content creator. Those likes and those comments, they mean more to most of us than any little bit of advertising dollars that YouTube might give
YouTube gives us 10 cents. Ooh, okay, that's not exciting.
And that's not why we do them. We do them for the interaction and for knowing that the time is well spent. And I think that's true of any content creator. So
we got Laughter on the Water wondering bus life versus boat life, which is more comfortable, which offers more freedom, pros and cons.
That's a whole video that we have done before. I don't think we have time to handle that. I'm just going to say
they're both awesome.
They all have the pros and advantages. Definitely go back in the content.
And we wouldn't pick just one.
If I couldn't choose just one. We'd love them both.
So I think now it's time to show off Kiki and wrap up. I think we're caught up on questions.
And maybe one day we'll do another live just on
boat versus van versus bus. Talk about all three actually, because now I think the last time we did it, we didn't have the van experience. So
so maybe we'll do that's a future video topic is to do it. So here's Kiki.
And we will say, Captain Chris, yes, we definitely will want to get together with you guys in Florida. Maybe in Sanford, maybe at your place. Let's keep in touch. It would be awesome to see you guys again.
They want to see you there.
And now here's Kiki, the queen. Oh yes, she commutes. She loves being in the bus, but she wants to be in the Casita during the day. So she'll start meowing at the door, and we'll have to let her into the Casita. She comes over here and works for the day. And when it's lunchtime, she comes back. She comes back. She meows to come back. She comes back for lunch, and then she comes back over here. And then she commutes. She's a commuter now. And
Sabina says hello.
All your fans are saying hi.
We'll get you home to Sabina by Valentine's Day. How about that?
Yes.
Alrighty. Thank you guys for joining in, being part of our journey. We love these lives because it's not that much work and it's great feedback to hang out with you guys. We're going to end this with what we started it with, which is about a minute and a half of a video compilation from the trip here and getting settled. So if you missed it at the beginning, catch it now. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Hey, here we go. Off to the video. Part of the bus.
How is it she remembers this? She's not been here for 2 years.